Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm covering the ticker BFT. Now I'm going to split this video into due diligence and then towards technical analysis. It might be a little bit of a lengthy video, so I apologize ahead of time. And make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe and notifications on, and let's jump right into this one. So this one here comes in as a SPAC, so a reverse merger. So we're going to ignore this website where it usually gives you a track to. Now usually they have other different acquisitions that they're working with. But for the time being, we're going to work on BFT in general in terms of the reverse SPAC that they're going for as Paysafe. So you might ask, well, what is Paysafe? And I thought, well, what is better than just to quickly go on towards the homepage and then don't go on towards the presentations and then dig into the SEC filing. So in short, Paysafe, if you haven't gone to their website, I recommend doing so. You'll find it in the description below. It says, well, you have a business at a scale. They have around businesses in all shapes and sizes across 120 markets. They're leading in security and the connections you need, whether from basically an online wallet that allows customers to pay through. Now, companies they work with is Rentmula, Mindbody, Building Stack, Policy Expert, Amelia, and Global E Smart Cross Borders. And what I want to do first of all is go towards the presentations and then progress from there onwards. So towards the presentation here, you have a bunch of different things here. I want to focus first on their pro forma equity value of around $7.12 million. Now, there's around a pro forma net leverage of around 3.6 there for the EBITDA. Remember, this is basically the transaction overview. And a lot of times people think, okay, the shares of BFT, once a reverse SPAC occurs, 100% of the new ticker will be just from the previous shell company or a special acquisition company. But that is not true. So what you get to see here, for instance, is the percentage. So PIPE shareholders, it's not part of it. The part of the float currently is going to be 4% of the new company. So basically, take whatever the market cap currently is. This one is estimated to be basically around somewhere around $9 billion pro forma. If you're looking into how much this company is worth, for instance. The PIPE investment includes $2 billion and at least $350 million investments from K9 Holdings and K9 Holdings and an expected $500 million investments from Fidelity, National Title, and Chicago Insurance Co. So bigger names there, a lot of money on the line. Now we also have basically it's going to be somewhere around a transaction value of 10 per share price, and that is exclusive from dilution of $74.8 million. $740.8 million public placements and private placements warrants. Now the big thing about this one here, yes, the $10 per share is not going to be paid by retailers like me and you, but rather that's external investment. So we don't need to worry about this one here. But in general, it's around $9 billion transaction value. Now, quickly here, some of the things we want to highlight is experts in payment processes. That's on the team of Foley, and basically drove value creation at FIS of somewhere between $2.5 billion to $91 billion before. So if they're taking this one at $9 billion, you expect it for it to jump quite a lot later on in the future, of course. So the total project revenue growth strategies, enterprise sales is around $85 million, gateway conversions around $15 million, operations around $20 million, risk platforms around $15 million, bank as service around $5 million. I'm not going to go through a lot more in details about that slide, but moving on quickly, Paysafe is a highly attractive and a scarce investment opportunity with payments fintech with similar characteristics to other Bill Foley deals. So they have experience in that one, especially in 2003, where they led an F&F acquisition on Altel Information Services to $1 billion, which later became Fidelity National Information Service. So that is a massive one there. Now Fidelity National Information Service (FIS) is an industry leader with $91 billion. So within somewhere around 17 years, they reached from $1 billion to $91 billion in terms of the value. So they definitely have a lot of experience on their hand. So now introduction to Paysafe. 75% of e-commerce and integrated organic revenue is what comes to Paysafe. Now they currently have an organic revenue of around $1.5 billion as estimated for 2021. Around 11% organic revenue increase from between 2020 estimated and 2023 estimated. And of course, you have around $103 billion total volume in 2021 estimated. And some of the highlights here, they're highly differentiated B2B and B2C global network with a powerful suite of digital wallets, eCash, and integrated processing solutions. The next thing here is significant growth opportunities with a massive TAM with expertise in high volume or high value verticals. Long history at global markets, leading in iGaming payments, as well as positioned to capitalize on expanding US markets. Proprietary and scalable platforms, technology, and clear 4-point strategies for growth. So quickly moving on, they have more around 3 different solutions. Paysafe Digital Wallets, Paysafe eCash, and Paysafe Integrated Processing. So Paysafe Digital Wallets is number 2 global stored value digital wallet that has a presence in around more than 120 markets, around 70, give or take, APMs, mobile, and in-app e-commerce, P2P, or money transfer. And basically some of the things you might actually know about from this one is DraftKings, Bet365, Betfair. Now, a lot of people here in the stock market know about DraftKings, and they're powered by Paysafe digital wallets. Now, Paysafe eCash, which is present in more than 50 markets, digitalizes cash in prepaid solutions and invoicing solutions. And some of the ones you've heard about is Fortnite, a massive game that was not, well, it's still live, but it was really massive somewhere, I think, last year. And then Twitch, and then Spotify. Now, Paysafe Integrated Processing here is an independent merchant acquirer in the US. And some of the names you got, again, to recognize is DraftKings. Now, MindBody and NP Power are not as popular as DraftKings, at least not I think so. But their presence are across the US, Canada, and Europe. Now, the next thing here is related to Paysafe in general. So in terms of the number of money, in terms of total volumes, around $103 billion, you get to see that Paysafe is one of their biggest income in general itself of around $75 billion. But the organic revenue mix here for e-commerce and integration is around 50% for Paysafe. But I want to look into something here that is interesting for me. There's a lot of room to grow for Paysafe eCash, especially since they have around 12 million active users, but only, well, and also around 650K distribution points. And you get to see around 1 billion deposits here and 3.8 million active users. Now, on Paysafe eCash, digital wallet, and integrated processing, you get to see that there is a lot of room to growth. It's not all in one basket, and things might look a little bit better, especially with their 3-point plan. This 3-point plan is basically merchant value proposition, consumer value proposition, and global reach. And they are around superior take rate of 1.4%, which is better than the 0.8% peer average. That is bullish there. They are a global leader in iGaming. So a global leader with over 1,000 operators. It was launched in 1999. They have around 12% CAGR from 2020 estimated to 2025 to be somewhere around $77 billion to $135 billion. That's annually expected to double by then. Launched in 2010, was in Canada. That's 100% of Canada iGaming coverage deployed Paysafe market playbook after 2010 launch. Again, it's around 15% CAGR, close to the 12% there. United States, this is massive. So it's live in 12 state service, over 60 operators representing 75% of the market. And it goes from 2019 estimated to 2025 estimated, goes on 55% CAGR. And that's a really, really good number. $3.4 billion to a potential $47 billion. That is massive. Now, this is, of course, Paysafe management established in EDC, H2 Gaming Capital, Eller Krajik market size. That's based on that kind of research of market sizing research for Ellers and Krajik. Assuming further legalization of US iGaming in all states, that's what the $47 billion is based on. Otherwise, if no further legalization of iGaming in all states take place, it'll be $24 billion. They always love to hide it in the fine print that is even very hard for me, myself, to read right now. Next thing here is global platform integrated cloud and technology. This one here is basically regarding 5 different things. So they have configure merchants here, and then transact all the ways people do way, analyze data and analytics, back office, and then defend secured by space. And what they're trying to say is they're powered basically by an automated underwriting for in terms of platform. It's powered by cloud. It has wallet consolidation, payment processing, transform, and cybersecurity. So you're having all these things all in one platform, which is something you'd expect, of course, from payments in general. Now, it is highly developed. There's around 300 professionals dedicated to risk and compliance analytics. And I'm not going to go towards the general one here, but you get to see big names here: British Columbia, Visa, the list goes on here. So moving on a little bit further, you get to do your expansion and M&A engine. So they have around 20 years of expertise with 15 deals integrated. Again, 300% deal experience in management teams. So they do expect a large growth there in terms of advantage platform for consolidation. And the next thing I want to cover is the growth opportunity, because that is massive. One of the biggest things you've seen already is their iGaming platform, basically potential, and their accelerating potential of growth itself and the M&A strategy. So the growth strategy underpinned by weekly management discipline and top 10 programs. First, it works with enterprise sales, which cross-sell all solutions with Paysafe through a single API. Operation platform, optimizing legacy processes, technology, and back office systems. Risk platforms basically improves underwriting, onboarding, and reduce false positivity rate. And then bank as service, which basically gives a relationship with global banks to achieve cost efficiencies. And gateway conversions, which basically focuses on digital wallets and their integrated and processing platform and US distribution. That unlocks around $100 million in organic adjacent EBITDA. Now, the next thing here is they are already a proven leader in iGaming and well poised to be successful in highly attractive US iGaming markets. So again, with the $47 billion here, they already have more than 60 US iGaming customers, including DraftKings here, Virginia Lottery, Michigan Lotteries, and a lot of different lotteries in different states. And one big thing here is, and I'll zoom in here for this chart, your B2C payment methods and B2B payment methods and accepting processes. Paysafe basically is even better than PayPal in B2P, a little bit better than B2C. You get to see it really deserves that kind of spot. It really tries to compete even better than PayPal. Not a lot of contesters there, and that looks quite interesting for me. Next thing here is in terms of high growth and profitable markets, including in gaming, social media, wellness and memberships, property managements, and there's a lot of room to grow there as well. So in short, we want to look a little bit into their financial results, but in short, in terms of growth, you get to see a lot of growth, and a lot of organic growth is already on their way. And again, they're trying to put themselves into a general global spot in that kind of category of fintech. Now, organic revenue here, you get to see year over year, 2018 actual to 2019 actual, they see a 13% growth. And what they're estimating between 2020 and 23 is actually a modest CAGR of 11%. Again, here for the volume, they expect more volume, around 15% between 2020 and 2023, which is a bit higher than the 12% volume they've seen from 2018 to 2019. So their numbers are not much inflated in general. They are being a bit more realists in my perspective, rather than just overly optimistic that a lot of companies tend to do. So nonetheless, it does look that it could be as well scalable in terms of growth. Now, one thing here is it diversified by segments, as I did say before. They have around 30% wallets, 19% e-cash, and 51% processing. The next thing here is diversified by geography. You have 14% ROW, 38% Europe, and then 48% North America. You have also diversified by verticals, which is 36% of SMB, 30% of emerging verticals, and 34% of iGaming. So we already covered a lot of these things. We already know they have potential growth. Now, the next thing we want to cover is just this one here. So Paysafe comparison versus its peers. And one of them is PayPal. You get to see they very much align themselves very close to PayPal. Now, they are better with risk management. They're around 4 times better with vertical focus. Now, you get to see that they do try to cover 5 things. E-commerce compliant, or capabilities, two-sided network, vertical focus, global, and risk management. Now, one of the things that I wanted to see here is Shopify. Now, a bit of the key comparables, what you see, basically in terms of e-commerce enablers, around 50x times for EV over EBITDA multiple, 30 times more in e-commerce leaders between PayPal and Nuvei, and then you have integrated payments of 20 to 30% time, and that basically really puts in, I guess, Shift4 does fall in that category a little, but basically you get to see what the current capabilities of competitors are, and that's where they're basing these numbers on. In traditional payments, somewhere between 15 to 20, as you see, 19, 18, 16, etc. But the key capabilities we're going for is e-commerce and integrated payments. And so that really covers everything we need to cover. One thing I really wanted to see is their actual balance sheet. I had a little bit of hard time to finding it, but just here quickly in terms of their growth, we get to see in terms of 2019 to 2018, and we get to see, of course, 2020 is better. We get to see that things in terms of the general net losses wasn't looking that good. In terms of organic revenue, it was a little bit stable, but it looks like in terms of a general revenue forecast for 2020, things are looking a lot better, especially with the iGaming industry. I apologize again if this is a long video. I try to make them as short as possible, but there's a lot to cover in this one. So quickly here, as I said before, the transaction values right here, I'm just going to quickly, there you go. The transaction value here is actually a pro forma enterprise value of $9 billion upon consummation of the transaction. Paysafe operates a unique two-sided network and processing nearly $100 billion in volume. Bill Foley to become the chairman of the board of directors of Paysafe, and CEO Philip Migo will continue leading the newly combined company. The big part of this is, again, Fidelity, the one we talked about earlier in the video. So the next thing we want to cover here is, well, when is this all going to happen? By the way, the new symbol will be PSFE. Now, we don't have an exact date of the merger yet, and that kind of gives us a bit of a room there. But the transaction is expected to close in the first half of 2021. I actually do have an exact date where basically in the SEC filing it says when it's supposed to happen before. But before then, just a quickly looking, we talked about eCash wallets. Quick perspective into this one. So eCash itself, it offers cash. Well, let me just zoom one bit out. There we go. It offers cash as an alternative online payment options by integrating a pre and post eCash solutions for Paysafe with 100% payment guarantee and no risk for chargebacks, with new customers using traditional cash for digital payments. And it works worldwide. You get a 16-digit code. It's available at 650,000 points of sales in more than 50 countries. And it basically works for digital providers for apps, games, entertainment, iGaming, and sports betting. Next thing here, this one here is one of their platforms under the products they serve. And this one is rapid transfer, secure, instant payments. And it really just works in terms of transferring money from a wallet to another. So that's very much straightforward. Now, they also enable online cash payments for Microsoft to customers. That's recent in December 23rd. And basically, it enables you can pay now by Paysafe card as a payment options in Microsoft stores in 22 countries across Europe. And once it starts in Europe, you can also see it all the way come up as well to North America. So some of the countries are Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, and Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the UK. So you expect more to come on that sense. Next thing here is digital wallets, which is basically streamlined experience, expedited checkout, and basically how it works is you have, well, an online wallet that you feed in money into. It acts almost like your cash. Now, over the 12 past months alone, millions of active users have used Skrill and Nettler to action real-time payments over 25,000 online merchants in more than 40 currencies. And you can easily integrate either or. Now, the next thing here is basically the platform. So they have customized solutions for different companies for the payments for, basically it's almost a fintech service. And for their e-commerce partners, I did already talk about these partners, but one partner, endless possibility, and creating things your way using any of the following payment methods. It works with Google Pay, Apple Pay, Paysafe Cash, Nettler, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Google Pay, and over 100 currencies worldwide. So moving on, we already covered a lot of material right now. So we're just going to move on quickly towards the SEC filings. But before doing so, here in the SEC filing, actually, we do have one blur I really want to talk about. Paysafe is a highly attractive and scarce investment opportunity within the payment of fintech space. And one thing that they actually did mention, over my career, I've been called an agent of change and transition given the opportunity and improvements that I have been able to achieve. They have a proven strategy and experienced management team, and their newly formed partners, they believe that Paysafe has significant long-term growth potential. Importantly, they believe that they can accelerate the operational transformation already underway at Paysafe. Next thing here is the closing date. So it's expected to occur on or after March 25th, 2021. So, well, actually, this is a clause, so it's expected to happen before March 25th, 2021. So, yes, in the first half of 2021, this clause says if it doesn't happen by then, they expect that both teams will come back and come up with a solution. So, now moving on towards technical analysis. I do heavily apologize for this long video. If you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. You've heard a lot of YouTubers tell you to please subscribe, but trust me, it does help in my position, especially when I'm starting this YouTube channel a long time ago, and any feedbacks would be really helpful. So on a one-day perspective, things look a little bit interesting. Now, yes, the ADX is coming up from 72 and above 50. Usually that's where I say be careful, because that ADX really shows you how far the things are extended. I do expect for it to be below 50, and it did actually go to 48. Now, this is probably a good time to consider repurchasing back in. William percent R is somewhere closer to the oversold section, so a correction would mean a higher price action. And then the MACD here is actually stabilizing on the negative side, and it can actually attempt a positive reversal. Momentum is still positive. Now, the one thing that I say is very interesting on this one, on the moving averages especially, is that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA. That is really bullish. And it's above the 50 SMA. Now, you see this trading action zone, that's between the green line and the red line, the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA. You can expect bounces to occur. And you get to see, in fact, we've seen that bounce. It really attempted it, and it actually seen that reversal. So above 1372, you can expect bounces between 1519 and 1372, and positive reversals. Now, on a 2-hour perspective, what we get to see here is basically sloppy on all these indicators because they don't tell you anything. And it shows you a little bit of a growth here in terms of potential, a slow growth back from the 1368. That's all the things they're saying. Now, on the moving average band and volumes, you see massive volume occurred early on and slowly curled all the way to 17 bucks. Now, the one thing that I love about moving average band, it basically gives you a better insight than the Bollinger Bands. Now, they are right now almost at the exact same place, but in all respect, you expect for it to trade on 1615 at the top, 1469 in the middle, and 1322 in the bottom. But you get to see the moving average band is actually trading upwards and shows you an upward trend, even though it might be slowing down a little. The stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing that there is a potential for another jump back up. The stochastic fast is telling you, hey, probably it would be a worth for another leg up. Stochastic slow is telling you to wait a couple of days to think about it again. Now, Fibonacci retracements gives you great points for supports and resistances. The current support sits at 1418, 1330, 1243, and 1135. Significant resistances are at 1542 and 1701. Now, quick thing here, in terms of BFT itself, we can get to see quickly on significant supports and resistances the traditional way. So price line actions. Significant supports, it sits at 1488. Below there, you're looking at 1473. And then below there, you're looking at 1434, 1412, and then 1373. Another one is, by the way, is a 1446. And then below there, we're looking at another significant one at the 1360. And then you can go all the way down towards 1302. Sorry, significant resistances are 1506, Next one coming up is 1538. Next one, 1566, 16 bucks, 1616, 1659, and then all the way to 17 bucks. And if it does hit 17 bucks, it's not far off from 1720. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Honestly, balance sheets, I haven't seen a lot of details in balance sheets. Of course, we're going to get them more in the closing date, closer to the date, so we're going to get a lot more filings, and we can do an update on that then. But $9 billion for this one here in terms of a whole enterprise value, that sounds quite exciting. Especially when you talk about $9 billion, split that to around 4% of that. The numbers aren't that bad in general regarding the market cap of this one. And so, is it underpriced or overpriced? It is hard to say on a SPAC whether it is or not, so it really works on intrinsic value. And I definitely do think that the intrinsic value for this one will probably catch up towards seeing a better, or sorry, a higher price point. Now, I do think it's going to cool down, it's going to accumulate, and then start jumping back up again closer to the vote time and basically before the stock actually changes. Now, one thing I did mention about is, yes, it is 4%, and from that 4%, basically want to look into the market cap for BFT, because remember, 4% is what you're looking at in general. Now, I do know BFT is currently sitting at a market cap of 2.76. And 2.76 at a market cap of 4% of $9 billion, you're looking at $360 million. So it's a little bit scary to be a little bit overvalued in that sense, but in all things considered, I definitely do think that this one will see probably another rise up after it accumulates. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.